All right, we want to talk about 5 veterans we are riding with until
Red leather, yellow leather.
All right, here we go. Ready? All right, we want to talk about 5 veterans you are riding with until retirement on your Dynasty team. But before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can catch more videos just like this one to help win your fantasy football league. All right, Kyle, who's the first guy you were sticking with until they call it quits?
First guy I'm sticking with is Tyreek Hill. He's actually come out and said he's only going to play until the end of his current contract, which ends in 2025. So he's got 2 years, and that's finite. That's not a guess. That is finite. 2025, he's got 2 years left on his contract. However, the guy is so good that he's one of these rare, and we've got a few of them tonight, one of the rare veterans you're not trying to get rid of based on his age because he provides, if you're competing, hang on to him. There's no reason, he provides you that opportunity to chase that championship. There's no decline or none of that you're trying to get rid of this veteran for. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, I'm sticking with Tyreek Hill unless I'm in a pure rebuild.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's no decline based on his age. Plus, he's in like the perfect system to work with his skill set, right? And it gets him the ball, and it gets him the ball in the right situations. It just makes him dangerous, and it makes him very fun to own in fantasy football. I don't know that there's any reason to trade him away if you were competing. If you're in a complete rebuild and he's the only guy you have on your team, okay, but make the other guy pay a huge amount of money because you were handing them an opportunity for a championship, and that's how you should value that. And, you know, if they're not going to pay you that, then you hang on to Tyreek Hill until someone that is in the running for the championship later on in the season comes and knocking and is willing to pay you king's ransom. This guy needs to be held on to, even in dynasty leagues, even at his age.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case with everybody we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Like, if they are coming to you, that means they're trying to make a run, and you're handing them the tools to make that run. They need to pay for that.
Yep.
If you're trading this guy away, you're giving that person a really good shot to make a run at that championship, and that needs to be reimbursed. And, you know, I think probably the truest person on this list for that is our next guy, Mr. Christian McCaffrey. So Christian McCaffrey, he had a couple of years in Carolina where he struggled with injuries, got traded to San Fran, and now he's been healthy for a couple of years. The dude's a freak. They have figured out the formula to use him a lot, which is nice for fantasy, but not overuse him so that he keeps getting hurt. And so, I mean, this guy is just so good. He's so good. And the skill set is perfect in that system. You know, I don't see any reason to trade CMC if you're a competitor in your league.
Yeah, 0% reason. And so usually what I like to talk about quality over quantity, right? And in Carolina, he was getting quantity. And so he was getting so many touches, so many carries. And then he goes over to the 49ers, and he's still getting so many touches. So they didn't use him less like we thought they were going to. But on top of that, the quality also got better. So he's still getting the same amount of volume, but they're better touches because he's just on a better team, and that team has so many weapons that it's more spread out and stuff. So, I mean, CMC just feasts every week, and I mean, he's just guaranteed to do good for your fantasy team. I ain't trading for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're giving me Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm still not doing it. If I'm going for the championship, I want CMC on my team.
100%. Yeah.
The
volume is there. He's just not taking near the hits. He's not getting hit nearly as often, which is going to help him last longer. So that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about a guy that people were afraid might retire, didn't know if it was coming or not. His brother decided to retire, but he decided to shake it off and come on back. Let's talk about some Travis Kelce, who people thought might be on his decline, but then showed at the end of last year that he's still in it to win it, man. The dude is still a weapon when Kansas City makes the effort to get him the ball and make him that guy.
Well, yeah, Travis Kelce is a freak of nature. He did show at the end of the year he still got it. They tried really, really hard to make sure he got the ball. But everybody was focusing on him last year. What else did they have in that passing game? I mean, Rashee Rice, did pretty well. Like, after the first few weeks, he started coming on. But going forward, having Rice when he's back from suspension, Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy, this is going to be a dangerous team, and I think it's going to help Travis Kelce start getting open more often again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he's going to maintain this production. Nobody knows exactly when he'll hang it up, but if you can get 2 more seasons of, the best tight end to ever play football on your team, I'm taking it 100%.
Oh, yeah. He's still in his fantasy football production era for sure, right? And we're talking about a down year for Travis Kelce, and he still finished the number 3 tight end. And that's after not even playing in 2 games and having 3 really bad games, single-digit games down the stretch. And he still finishes the number 3 tight end. I'll take that. That's high-end production. And this is a guy that if he's not scoring double-digit fantasy points for you in a week, I mean, it's a huge surprise. Whereas a lot of tight ends, you're like, yes, they finally reached double-digit scoring for me. If he's not getting that, it's a surprise, and it's a weekly advantage at the tight end position that you need to take advantage of.
Yeah, 100%. Get in on the Kelce's Eras tour.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's continue our segment here on being Captain Obvious. And our next guy is the guy that people were saying to write off 4 years ago because there's no way he could keep this up, Mr. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, King Henry. Everybody thought he was done. Like, say, 3-4 years ago, everybody was trying to write him off. Oh, the volume. Oh, he's going to hit a wall. And the dude's a freak of nature and just keeps going. Just like Adrian Peterson did the same thing, right?
Yep.
Way longer than he should have also. Derrick Henry's doing the same thing. It's like it's one of those stories of my demise were greatly overblown situations. And now he goes to a team where I think he could fare even better.
Yep.
For fantasy purposes. Like, he's not a guy I'm looking to trade. If I'm competing, again, I want this guy on my team because he's going to produce.
He's an absolute physical specimen.
Yeah.
And when you're that big and that powerful, oof, good Lord. And now, okay, going back to my quality over quantity type thing, they had to lean on him so hard in Tennessee. He was their offense, right? Mm-hmm. Now he's going into Baltimore that has a more run-friendly offense, but they can actually throw the ball. And they have people to throw the ball too. So this is, I think, maybe his quantity will kind of be rolled back a little bit. They have Keaton Mitchell there, take a little bit of that volume. But I think every one of his touches has a better quality than any touches he was getting in Tennessee.
I agree.
mean, who knows what he's going to produce on every touch, because the defenders also not only have to spread the field for the receiving options, but they also have to worry about respecting any play fake by Lamar Jackson, so there's pause on those linebackers. Whereas before in Tennessee, those linebackers were find Derrick Henry and go, They don't have that anymore. I don't know how you're going to defend that.
I mean, you just think about scoring opportunities alone, red zone opportunities. That's going to spike.
They're going to double.
I think his move to Baltimore is going to be similar to CMC's move to San Fran. I think you'll see kind of that same boost in quality of touches for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the final one, maybe the most controversial on the list.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who you got?
Alvin Kamara. Now, last year, this guy proved as a receiving option, he still got it. I mean, we're talking 10 to 15 catches a game. That's ridiculous. If you're in PPR Dynasty, like, that's ridiculous. And he's still got a couple years left before he even hits that big 30. I think he's probably the youngest on this. No, McCaffrey's the youngest on the list. But him and McCaffrey are the two youngest on this list.
Yeah.
But he catches the ball so much, and everybody thought he was cooked. That bad year that he had in 2022, but it was a usage problem. They just weren't getting him the ball.
Yep.
This year he comes back from his suspension, and they start getting him the ball, and he shows, hey, get me in space, and I can still make stuff work. This is a guy that I want to ride off into the sunset while he's getting these ridiculous PPR numbers.
Yeah, and because people are doubting him, and this goes back to Derrick Henry too, trading these guys away, Kamara and stuff, you're not going to get what he's worth if you trade him away anyways, because people are going to play that up. Well, he's getting old. He might retire soon. He's not what he used to be. So they're going to downplay it and not pay you that much for it. Screw them. Keep him on your team and have a chance at the championship. The dude finished as a RB1 this last year after missing 4 games, 3 on suspension and probably or the last game of the season. Okay. And then the 2 games for that, he wasn't even used that much. Okay. What? Like, that's incredible. It's incredible.
For that.
And we love a running back who catches the ball a lot. And that's exactly what he does. And so, yeah, rack up the easy points, man. And it's not like he's running between the tackles that much. I mean, he's out in space catching balls and running off tackle and stuff. I mean, prolonged career with that kind of usage. So, yeah, ride him.
Yeah.
Try to get as many championships as you can.
Those are the types of running backs we love for fantasy, are the ones that catch a ton of footballs. Yep. That's why McCaffrey is so good. The passing volume is just out of control. But like you mentioned, if someone's going to come to you with offers for him that are going to be low ball, all that, if the roles are reversed, you can also use that to your advantage because he'll be the cheapest that you can acquire of anybody on this list too.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to make a run and you need somebody to kind of put you over the hump, go target Alvin Kamara. I think you can get him for a pretty reasonable price still, because I don't know if people are buying into – everybody bought into the demise after the bad year. I'm not sure everybody's 100% buying into the good now after the rebound. I think you can still acquire him for a pretty reasonable price. So, yeah, I think of everybody on this list, he's the one I'm actually trading for because the perceived value is lower.
Right. Yeah, the asking price will be realistic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, with that information, guys, go try to collect as many of these guys as possible. No, not necessarily. You'll make your dynasty team really old. So don't make your whole dynasty team old unless you just want to win now and not worry about the future. But these guys, ride them into the sunset, let them retire on your team, and try to win some championships along the way.